Hello, Fleet Ready fam. Welcome to Fleet Ready Gaming. My name is Savad, and welcome to the channel. Yesterday, CIG released the 3.19 PTU to the servers for Wave 1 to participate in. So let's go ahead and go over the patch notes. All right, so Star Citizen Alpha 3.19 PTU. Currently at to Wave 1, which is subscribers and concierge. Testing focus is general stability, the Lorville Skyline 2.0, salvage contract missions, tractor beam tier 0.5, Ghost Hollow Reclaimer PvP mission, and mission density management. Coming soon to PTU, these features are in an unfinished state and will be coming fully in a later PTU publish, so we're not requesting feedback on these at this time. Mining balance version 1 and new player experience. Moving on to the known issues. Multi-location shopping kiosks. Shop item pictures and descriptions are missing. Harvestable deposits may be invisible to players, may cause collisions, or become unavailable for scanning, mining, or salvage gameplay. Mining may be blocked in this build. ArcCorp Area 18, interactables locations. Players can be injured or killed when getting out of the chair in the hab. ArcCorp Area 18, art and locations. Replace me ball in player habs. Performance client. High dedicated video memory usage leads to severe frame rate drops at Lorville. Arena Commander, PTU Live. Wait for player spawn connection timeout. Ships. Redeemer is missing collision on its floor. That's not good. Aegis Reclaimer. Stanton. Ships, vehicles, ship features. Reclaimer has no rear elevator interaction from ship exterior. Reclaimer main on elevator control panels do not respond to input. I see that one's come back again. Argo Mole. The interaction prompts for all mining turrets are easy to miss in unintuitive locations for players. Consolidated Outlander Hoverquad. The vehicle spawns slightly stuck in the ground. Global UI. For 21:9 resolution, hence do not appear when loading into the universe on an ultra-wide setting. Multi-vehicle mining UI is appearing in low resolution. RSA Constellation, the Snubbiter lacks interaction prompts to enter it, making it unusable. Shard can fail to load after crash or reset or restart with a resource exhausted error during query zone hosts. Stanton actor feature, Gray Cat multi-tool, issues with RMC canister reload behavior. AI FPS, enemy combat AI is slow to respond or react. Ghost Hollow. Reclaimer PvP mission, extraction terminals cannot be interacted with before and after the comms array has been deactivated. Aberdeen Clusher. Ursa rovers can sometimes spawn under the garage, preventing prisoner escape. ArcCorp Area 18 Orison transit systems. The trams are out of sync with the station timers, causing trams to overlap or not appear on time. Multi-tool. The salvage attachment has the VFX of the tractor beam and does not function. Security post Korea. Contraband screens have a viz area issue. ASOP terminals. Spawning ships causes the requested ship to spawn outside of the hangars. I see this one's come back as well. Shopping. Area 18. Buying pharmacy items at Empire Health results in an invalid location error. And finally, Grimhex. Mission giver Wallace Clem becomes stuck under the floor near the hangars after being streamed out and being streamed back in. So those are our known issues. Moving on to new features. Gameplay. Missions. Salvage contracts tier 0. Addition of salvage contracts to the PU. This new contract, called the Salvage Resource Rush, is a mission where a faction or mission giver requests the scrapping of a derelict or husk in their possession. Either on the ground, at a junkyard, or in space in a debris field, players accepting the mission are tasked to scrap the derelicts to the best of their ability and sell the RMC to a shop. Once the player is finished with the scraping of the derelict, they can complete the mission in their Moby class. This mission will have 3 variations. Lawful. A lawful mission giver or organization requests the scrapping of a derelict. The location is secured by the organization with orbital sentries or centurions. Lawless. A mission giver requests the scrapping of a derelict. The location is not secured in any way. Risk of being raided by pirates is present. Unlawful. An unlawful mission giver or organization asks for the salvage of a recent battle which is not accessible to civilians or cordoned off. The location is secured by hostile orbital sentries or centurions. Ghost Hollow Reclaimer PvP mission. Adding a new mission type to the Ghost Hollow crash site on Microtech, making use of the comm array as well as AI nav mesh. This mission type will create PvP encounters where players will need to fight for control over terminals for a chance at big credit payouts. This is a mission with outlaw UEC terminals in the Reclaimer derelict. When active, they generate UEC that anybody can withdraw, creating PvP encounters between players trying to control the terminals, which are also guarded by outlaw AIs. To start the terminals, the comm array must be disabled. If that is done, the terminals can be activated in the tower next to the derelict ship. To start this event at Ghost Hollow crash site, a player will need to disable the Stanton 4 comm array above Microtech, which will enable the terminals, and a multi-class communication is sent to all nearby players. That's going to be fun. Feature updates, locations, Lorville Skyline 2.0. The major reworking of the Lorville skyline to better fit the scale of the city and its distinctive buildings. The goal is to create the visual identity for the high-end, low-end, and generic branding of the city skyline and add navigational signage around the landing zone. Additionally, they added updated volumetric atmosphere and clouds to ArcCorp, did a performance polish pass for atmospheres and clouds, and moved the location of Area 18 ASOP terminals closer to the hangar elevators. In terms of gameplay, we have Tractor Beam Tier 0.5, item attaching and detaching, enabling handheld tractor beams to attach and detach items such as ship components and allowing players to sell those salvaged items for profit. This iteration of the tractor beam gameplay will add the functionality to the tractor beam attachment of the multi-tool to detach and attach items from ship item ports. This functionality can either be used for component exchange, replacement, or restocking, or to scavenge other ships to use or to make a profit. Players can lock and unlock the ability to remove weapons and components from their ships with a new port unlock option in the inner thought, or which in the cockpit, or using the new port unlock keybind, unbound by default. While aiming at a component with the tractor beam to detach it, hold B and it will highlight the object with a glow around its perimeter shape. Left click and drag to pull the component loose from its socket. While attaching components, an AR marker will appear to give players guidance on the correct orientation to attach the component incorrectly. If the hollow outline is green, simply let go of the item and it will attach. If the hollow outline is yellow, rotate the item until the outline turns green, and if the hollow outline is red, the item does not fit the item port requirements. Fascinating. That's going to make piracy even more interesting, and just in general, if you're in a ship and you come across a derelict, you can make some money. Ghost Hollow Reclaimer PvP mission. Adding a new mission type to the Ghost Hollow crash site on Microtech, making use of the comm array, as well as the AI nav. It looks like they redid this one. Yep, they did. So we already read that. Let's moving on. Density Manager mission updates. Updated the Density Manager system so that mission entities and things dropped by missions such as corpses, guns, and debris will be cleaned up when the area is streamed out. As we reuse mission locations such as UGFs, the location will then be cleaned up of all mission items when the area is streamed out, while player dropped things remain as usual. Rebalance the amount of ship weapons, missiles, and ship components that are currently sold in rest stops and LEOs, Lagrange points. Temporary removed Claim Jumper and Orison FPS missions for 3.19. I'm curious if this is just for the PTU or for the entirety of 3.19, because the Orison FPS missions are a lot of fun. Ships and vehicles. Added the Corsair Cutter and the C8R Pisces to in-game shops. That is awesome to hear. Now moving on to the next part, bug fixes. We've got a whole host here. Excuse me. Crash handler. If the client crashes, it does not prompt a crash handler for the player. Multi-vehicle all planets graphics. There are frequent pockets of extremely low client FPS performance in LZs and ships. Gramex hangers. Players asphyxiate if not wearing a helmet in Hangar 13. UI actor. EVA changes can cause distortion and artifacts in the UI. Selling. Commodity kiosks and cargo. Large amounts of cargo sold at once will cause the transaction to fail. The cargo will be taken and no money will be granted. Multi-class, home screen, mode trader, economy. Alpha UEC balances are not synchronized to players after making transactions in-game. Salvage, Crusader C2 Hercules. Some sections of the hull are exceedingly difficult or impossible to salvage. Anvil Carrack graphics. The bottom turret glass on the Carrack is difficult to see out of. Vehicles docking. Merlin will not undock from the Constellation. And by the way, these are all fixed. Also fixed, mission content. The local multi-pickup and multi-drop-off missions were not available to players. FPS locations. Elevators stop bullets from doing damage when passing through open doors. Dang, that was sounded helpful. Wish I had known that one. But that has been fixed. Personal inventory UI network, unable to unequip helmets. That's a good one to be fixed. Body dragging, cannot drop a dead body while dragging it. Art paints do not have the designated names or descriptions applied to them. Trike Vulture, ships. If the player exits the pilot seat or toggles salvage mode while in gimbal mode, when they re-enter the pilot seat, the ship fails to resume gimbal mode. Glad to see that's been fixed. Ship parts can be duplicated when repairing a ship with no parts. Insurance. Player purchased vehicle components overwritten and claimed vehicle loadout cannot be sold or equipped. Multi-vehicle, medical bay bed, and screen obstruction and hangars. Meanwhile, the Bear P6LR sniper rifle and Gemini AO3 missing from the Star Marine loadout customizers. Those have been fixed. Awesome. Star Marine Last Stand had a Viz area portal issue that appeared, stopping the view of the level. For ships and art, reverse text can be seen on the Pisces cockpit overhead light. For mining gadgets, the Optimax mining gadget did not modify resistance. Glad that's a good one to have fixed. Greycat STV speedometer is off-center within its window. Mission content delivery, more boxes spawn in than needed to be delivered. For mining, deposits shattered at optimal range cause damage to the player's ship. That's definitely a good one to fix. Vehicle Savage exploit. Players are able to craft a free multi-tool from the filler station. Darn, I mean, yeah, makes sense. Design failed negotiations. The disable gravity prompt was unresponsive. The Drake Cutter. Players will start to suffocate when exiting the ship bed after using lie down. That's definitely a good one to fix, especially if that was the only ship people had. Global AI walking in place. Glad to see that's been fixed, but Come on, is it really? Valkyrie. Players are unable to vault climb mantle into vehicles via the side entrances. Good to have that fixed. I wish we would fix that on the Cutlass Black. Let me know if you've been having that issue with the Cutlass Black. I was at least in 3.18.1. Last time I tried to get into one from the side, was not able to. Design location. Rocks float above the ground everywhere on Walla, Magna, Ariel, and Aberdeen, and Lyria. Mining. There are no mineable resources or harvestables present in any of the sand caves on all of the moons that they should be present. That's definitely a good one to fix. Mission content. Frustrated with Kovalex. The Frustrated with Kovalex delivery mission is missing half of its description in the contract manager. That's definitely a good one to fix. And finally, multi-vehicle insurance, multiple components. Player purchased vehicle components are overwritten by stock components when claiming destroyed ships. That is definitely a very good one to fix. You know, putting a lot of money into your ship only to have it be, get destroyed and then losing all that out. Good to see, at least while testing, that is fixed. And then for technical, we had 12 client crashes fixed, 6 server crashes fixed. They fixed a main thread deadlock, a completed backend performance improvements, and fixed a NVIDIA specific client crash. So that was a long patch note, quite a long patch note. But from what I've been seeing from other streamers getting into 3.19 PTU, it is overall a good experience. I will be getting on later today to try it out myself with some of my org mates. Gonna try to stream it, but where I'm at right now, the internet's not all that great. So I don't know if I'll be able to play and stream at the same time. We'll have to see. But, more info on that. If anything, we'll get some good B-roll. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps us out a lot. And if you're not subscribed, smash that subscribe button. We got a contest going on right now. If you're subscribed, like any of our videos and leave a comment on any of our videos, followed by the hashtag FleetReadyMay, you're entered to win a Ranger CV with lifetime insurance. The contest ends on May 27th. And we will announce the winner shortly after the contest ends. But yeah, go ahead, subscribe, like a video into the contest. I'll comment on it and we can have a nice chat. With that being said, we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.